Broadcasting from the jungles of Southeast Asia, it is time for the Ed Namrock Podcast. Running late, but don't hate, because we great. Great. Sorry for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. As expected, during distance learning, we encounter some obstacles that we help. Whatever. Quote of the year is, you're on mute. Anyway, thank you for tuning in once again. It's been a minute. I think it's been like 2 weeks or something like that, but we're doing this again. And back with me again is Mr. Whit Petrell.
What's happening, brother?
That's how the Germans say it. Nothing, man. What's up? My blood pressure. Got to get that down.
What is up with my camera? It is not catching up. There it is.
It's the whole
buffering, I had this, super fast.
Let's educate people a little bit here. When you decide to use any kind of device, iPad, iPhone, Android, smartphone, or whatever, if you choose to use it as a virtual camera, you have to download a third-party plugin and buy the app on the app stores or whatever. And you're going to encounter what is called latency. And what latency is basically lag time.
Yeah.
And it happens with actual webcams too. And the reason I've been repeating this and sounding like a broken record with is because distance learning has started for not only, my son, but other people's, kids as well. And those parents have been bombarding me with DMs like, hey, how do I do this? Hey, what microphone do I buy? I'm like, because they see what I do with you, and they're like, oh, what does he use? What do you use? What does this guy use? I'm like, look, keep it simple. Don't
especially for now.
Yourself.
Especially for now, because when with distance learning, hopefully we go back to regular learning.
Tell me about it.
I wouldn't want to. I would hate to have, especially like families that maybe don't have a whole lot of extra money right now, because that's happening a lot. It would suck that if they would go out and spend a grip of money trying to get the best camera or getting a best laptop or getting the best, webcam and all, and, getting all this technology. And then in like 4 months time, everybody's back in school, unfortunately, maybe people learn differently. I know I learned about that in college, that there's different ways of learning, but I know for me personally, I learn better when I'm in person. I tried taking a Spanish class, like on just an audio. But then I took a Spanish class in college, and I just learned so much more when I can visually see it and audio. So, I personally, I think that there's nothing better than just being hands-on, being there. You have a problem, you raise your hand, they come and literally show you how to do it. This distance learning thing is kind of, I feel for the parents out there. I feel for the children that are going through this. This has got to be a rough time.
Absolutely. And even for some, this is reminiscent of my old employer that pretty much went under and went out of business.
Mm-hmm.
They had, of course, it was an audio engineer school, an audio technology school. And they had this notion with, I don't know where the idea came from, but their plan, their goal was to make an audio engineering program, an audio technology and recording arts program 100% online. How in the world do you accomplish such a unrealistic?
It's kind of, especially for that subject, audio engineering. I mean,
it's not possible.
If you're trying to do everything online, I mean, how are you supposed to understand the acoustics of the room if you're not able to experience the acoustics of the room?
Precisely. Yeah. And now fast forward, here we are. This was what, 5-6 years ago. And I'm like, okay, I see where this is going. And then you and I, we were into this stuff pretty deep. So Manny Viramontes.
Manny, what's up, dude? How you been, brother?
Thank you for joining us.
Good to see you, bro. Yeah,
I shared a clip with you where, Dr. Ferrer, who happens to be, I believe, they call her Dr. Death because she looks like she's dying or something like that.
Oh, jeez.
She was caught on audio saying something about, we're going to wait to start opening up schools or start opening up the LA County until after the election is over. And I'm like, wait a minute, was she just, and I was trying not to jump to conclusions. Maybe it was blown out of context. I don't know, but maybe it's a timeline.
Yeah, I would hope that it's just a timeline because, I mean, I don't think that,
so, buddy,
man, what's happening, brother? I mean, I would hope that, this doesn't have any of influence in politics. Let's all wish for that. But, I mean, that's just kind of, it seems like a weird thing to say that, I thought this was about a virus and something that we need to take care of that's,
right.
Health wise. But when you put the timeline next to the election, instead of, I mean, that's just weird to me that they would say, well, we're not going to roll out any, health wise, health restrictions. We're not going to ease up on those until the election's over. Like, what is that? That's like apples and oranges. What does that have to do with the virus? What does the virus have to do with politics?
And is it because, and this is just my business hat being put on, is because when Black Friday approaches, there's not going to be anyone to go out and shop. Is that the deal? Or is it just strictly a political narrative that they're trying to, I guess, work adjacently to, like in tandem? Because if it's politically driven, that pisses you and I off.
I think the biggest problem with that, like you said, if it's politically driven, that's that's the whole point of the stay at home, the whole point of wearing masks, the whole point of washing your hands and staying 6 feet away and not going out is driven by, we want to stay healthy. We want to keep our communities healthy. We want to keep our families healthy. That's what everything is driven by. But
absolutely,
if that's what we're driven by, but if we're being told to do all this stuff and their motivation is something else, and it has nothing to do with health, it has to do with politics, that sucks. I hope it's not like that.
Can't call it Black Friday anymore. That's it.
No, it's
what did we call it before? Me working retail for so damn long.
I don't know.
We called it something else.
But don't
we had a different nickname, but I forgot.
I mean, wouldn't you? I mean, this is just me, but I would hope that the people who are making the rules and making the regulations on where we can go, what we can do, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, I would hope that they're basing that off of the facts of the health of the virus, of what's going on, and not based off of when the election is. That to me just sounds suspect.
Totally suspect.
But I mean,
like
let's keep it real though.
Like, what the
everything, fuck? Let's keep it real. Everything that you see on the internet, I personally, I don't take anything at face value. Everything that I see, I'm like, is it true? Is it not? Some stories you're like, I hope that's true. That'd be a great story. But you never know right now, because I mean, even like what we're going to get into later about the about Facebook and bans and not being able to live stream. I mean, one
max that credit card Friday on.
Pretty much, there's gonna be no Black Friday. It's gonna be all Cyber Weekend. It's just gonna be Cyber Weekend, and Amazon is gonna make a killing, and they're gonna make another $300 million gazillion dollars.
They're already prepping the drones for delivery. Have you seen that?
Are you serious? That'd be crazy.
It's crazy. It looks like something out of Sonic the Hedgehog. Like literally, like
if I have the opportunity, if I have the opportunity to see that in my life, like, I don't know. That's when I think about that. That's wow. That's a crazy.
Spend all the money you don't have Friday.
Do you remember when? Oh, that's true. when we were kids, like growing up. I mean, I grew up in the 80s, and we had tape players, and we had that, and we had we didn't have all the technology that we have, but like moving forward, when we saw stuff and we were like, man, how crazy would that be if you had your music in a little small device.
I remember saying that as a child too.
We see that technology happen like in our lifetime. Like that's so to me, like, when we're walking around seeing all the stuff that we can do with a phone, like, wow, like right now I'm doing this. The video from this podcast is coming from my phone. So like that to me is just is mind blowing. So, I'm like, okay, what else could be mind blowing? So I'm like, okay, my pizza's delivered by a drone. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man, that's when crazy, I see that, that would be mind blowing. Like a drone just delivered my pizza and
they already have Postmates, like automated like delivery. They look like little trash cans and they just send them out. It's like, send out the bots, dude. That's basically
insane.
I need another TV on Friday.
I need another TV Friday.
It's also, this is something that, in the 80s and the 90s, where who would have thought we would be putting a cell phone, prop it up on a tripod and jam out in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And over 300 people, closest friends, your fans, can watch you live.
Yeah.
That was unheard of.
Yeah.
Hey, Jenna, what's up? She says, I do believe this is a political move. Can be, cannot be. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're living in a world of absolutely no absolutes now.
I hope it's not. I really do. I hope it's not. I hope that they're, in a perfect world, I would hope that the people leading our city, our county, our state, our country, I would hope that they are doing things, because they care about the people. I really do. I hope that. I really do hope that. Is that the truth? I don't know.
And then another, blanket statement, I guess I could call it. Allegedly, the wildfires are also a political move. How is it a political move? That apparently they're set on purpose. I've heard of controlled fires, but this is just the kind of world we're living in right now, and it's like, what do you say? Nothing like the smell of beer and nalgas when you're on stage. Oof.
Yeah. You know what? Hey.
Oof.
That's what we grew up with.
Yep. Sweat and regret.
No, but that's, like you said, that's the weirdest thing, that nowadays we can jump up on. We don't even have to be on a stage. I mean, shit. Steel Rod has done some live streams from my living room. Like we literally set up in the living room with just me, my wife, and the puppies, and we just play some songs. And the crazy thing is, we put it up on our big screen so that we can see the comments as we're going.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've got people chiming in and watching us from Japan and the UK and Florida and New York.
That is so rad, dude.
It's crazy, dude.
Rad.
It's really like surreal to when you really think about it. Like it's pretty incredible time that we live in right now, that we can connect with people all across the world. That to me is probably one of the greatest parts of media, social media, and connection. One of the problems with it is the abundance of information, and the fact that it's like the bathroom wall. Like anybody can write on it, and anyone can write on it. And is it truthful? How much consider the source? Like how truthful is what you're reading, and how quickly things can be shared and not retracted. And I mean, that to me, that's the flip. That's the other side of the coin. The good side for me is the fact that I can communicate with, I have a sister in Japan and I have family in Utah, and we have friends and fans.
That's so awesome. You have a sister in Japan. Who says that?
She's a radio disc jockey.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then, we have friends all across the United States and in different countries, and we can connect literally like in seconds, through Facebook Messenger, through FaceTime, through that. I mean, when you really think about it, that's pretty incredible that we can connect that way. But on the other side of that coin, we have this massive social media platform that anybody can just share whatever they want. And a lot of people nowadays don't take the time, or maybe don't have the time to really, if I took the time to dig through every single article that I saw, I would have no more time throughout the day if I had to literally physically fact check every single article that I see.
You wouldn't have time to have a life.
No, I mean, I would literally be fact checking all day. So I think one of the problems too is that people look at a title and they're like, "Oh my God, this has to be true," and then it's shared, and then how many times does that get shared before maybe even 2 days later, if let's say that something is retracted, it's not even retracted, it's just proven false. But in those 2 to 3 days, how many people did that article influence? That to me is pretty scary, that we all are influenced every single day, and we don't know if the information that we're being influenced with is truthful or not.
That brings me to this thing about Facebook live streams that you and I were kind of irked by, and we didn't know what to make of it. And I wanted to jump to conclusions because it hits home. Me too. I'm like, shit. Okay, hold on, pause. Don't overreact. Yeah. Because when they hit that nerve, that's when you're like, fuck, like, no.
Well, let's explain it right now
let's give people some context first. So apparently there was a headline. I don't know if it was misleading people, but it was basically saying that Facebook has set a new rule effective October 1st, that you cannot basically make a musical audience on Facebook live streams. What does that mean? You can't play covers. You can't play music in the background. DJs that live stream, you can't do any of that. And you and I saw that. We're like, what the fuck? Like that's bullshit. Like, you're like, no, now where are we going to work? Yeah. That was your first reaction. But then I'm like, okay, calm down. Let's see what's going on. And they did clarify what that October 1st update means for all artists on Facebook Live. And that's exactly what I said, Boris. That's exactly a la Berg. So it reads here that the social networking site Facebook said their commitment to supporting musical expression on our platforms is unchanged. I'm like, okay, so here's the thing. Not everyone takes the time to read the T's and S's, the terms of service, because they're freaking long, dude. It's like a Bible. But you may not use videos on our products, meaning Facebook products, to create a music listening experience. That's what the guideline read. We want you to be able to enjoy videos posted by family or friends. However, if you use videos on our products to create a music listening experience for yourself or for others, your videos will be blocked and your page, profile, or group may be deleted. This includes live streams. So that's initially what it said.
Well, okay, let's back up a little bit. What is their definition of a live music experience? Is that what they call it?
Yes. All fingers are pointing to DJs. That's basically where it was pointing to.
A live music. See, that's and when this article first came out, I read through it and same thing like you, I got emotional. I was like, they I haven't had work since March, and they shut down all my venues and they shut down my career. And so literally during that time, I have to learn a whole new trade, like how to, like we were talking about, learn how to use Facebook Live, learn how to use, phones for this, and learn how to use, live streaming from different platforms and stuff. Hey, what's happening, man?
Herrera knows.
Man.
Yeah.
And so we're forced in the last like 6 months to learn these, trying to figure out a different path. It used to be all about we go and we find our gig and we go and find our venue. We talk with the owners, we figure something out, and we get into, and we learn how to twerk for work.
We got to learn how to twerk for work.
I already know how to twerk for work.
Hi, Manny.
Missed you, Manny. So, so we figure that out, and and this is correct. When I read this article, I'm thinking, okay, you already threw us through the ringer and took our career away. So people like us are trying to figure out a way around this. How do we figure it out? How do we pivot? How do we adapt? So we adapt through doing a Facebook Live. And even then, you've watched our streams, and we've always preached on there that we're not guaranteed money. We're not guaranteed to get paid. That's, one of the reasons that we do it is because first of all, we're talented and we want to keep our career going. But secondly, like we know that personally, like for the last 20 years doing music, I know in my heart that music heals, and I know 100%. I know it. So, and I know that so many people right now are struggling in different ways that, you don't even know. You could be standing next to somebody on the sidewalk and you have no idea what that person is going through in their life. And it's probably going through some crazy shit, maybe crazier than you, maybe not. But the fact that
no respect for live entertainment, whether it be live bands or DJs. That's absolutely true.
Yeah,
absolutely true.
So we're figuring this out, and we always on our live streams we always say that the tip jar is up there for sure. It's not a mandatory thing, and you know what? Because we understand that there's, when maybe some people are having a really tough time right now. That's fine. Hey, if you're not in a position to give, just enjoy the music. Hopefully for the hour or 2 hours that we're doing a live stream, we can take you away from and just not think about politics and not think about the bullshit that you're going through, finances and work and whatever, and the virus. Maybe we can take you away for an hour and you can just listen to some music and enjoy. That's what we want to do. But on the flip side of that coin, is maybe there are some people out there that are in a position to give. And if you are, we greatly appreciate it. That's really, what we're preaching. So we try to figure all that out. And then we see this article and they're like, well, we're not going to let you create a listening experience and what was the reason why? Because they want the videos and things to be shared to be between families. Is that what it said?
Here's what they diplomatically stated. And it all revolves around, obviously, intellectual property. We all understand that. Yes.
Yeah.
And I quote, they said, "We want to encourage musical expression on our platforms while also ensuring that we uphold our agreements with rights holders." Totally understandable. That's totally fine. These agreements help protect the artists, songwriters, and partners who are the cornerstone of the music community. No doubt. And we're grateful for how they've enabled the amazing creativity we've seen in this time. Our partnerships with rights holders have brought people together around music on our platform. We're not disagreeing. Now, this is also what they said. There are limitations around the amount of recorded music that can be included in live broadcasts or videos. While the specifics of our licensing agreements are confidential, of course, today we're sharing some general guidelines to help you plan your videos better. So music and stories and traditional live music performances, example given filming an artist or band performing live, are permitted.
So that's what they came out with on the second article, right?
Right. But that's not initially how they presented it to us.
This goes back
that's the information that gets twisted and everyone starts to jump to conclusions. And I tried not to.
So like we were saying,
why not create a Facebook virtual venue where they could expose the artist to billions of users for a fee and help the bands and keep their cut? That's not a bad idea.
What's crazy?
And it would be like different venues too. Okay.
They could have like different rooms. You know, like it's funny because me and Marlene, we were talking about this the other
Oh shit.
just today.
Okay.
Marlene she was funny. She came home from work and she was like, I wish I was like a smart IT, you know, Google person that I could like come up with my own Facebook that would be like just for bands. Why not? And I was like, bring back MySpace. Let's do this. Like
that's exactly what it was. That's exact, and it was good for a time, man. And then
then it got
kind of like it's kind of like the nightclub, man. It just disappears, man.
But so going back to this article, this is the crazy part. And like we were talking about how there's an abundance of information and we don't know what's true and we don't know what's not. So we get this article, this first one that came out that burned me out because basically in a nutshell, it was saying, you know, we took away your career and now we're also not going to let you do live streams on here as well. So, I mean, best of luck trying to find. So now, like when we've spent so many years building up a fan base on Facebook, now we're literally have to start brand new on what, Twitch or YouTube or something like that. Like we have no presence there. So if anything, it's taught me don't keep all your eggs in one basket. But
absolutely.
But at the same time, like we've really, you know, we've cultivated such a great fan base on Facebook. So to do something and like be scared that we're going to get our whole page deleted, like
that's absolutely asinine. Because how many people have basically ran ads on their shit, contributed? I here's the thing is I learned just by watching this documentary on Netflix, even though I should be canceling my subscription, but it's called The Social Dilemma. I won't spoil it, but you need to watch it to understand. Here's the thing. Most people won't sit there and watch the entire thing and absorb all the information. I had to keep pausing and rewinding just to absorb every single type of jargon that they use in that documentary. But basically, you are the product. Your psychology is the product to keep you addicted to this stuff. And I don't know about you, but I don't mind being addicted to watching live streams of bands. I could deal with all the other bullshit, but I need some music in my life. And how can you take that away? You can't.
Well, we've had people reach out to us and just like I guess I could say this because nobody knows who my dentist is, but so crazy story.
Dr. X.
It's a crazy story. I went to my dentist. Only a few people know who my dentist is, but I've known him. I used to mow his lawn when I was 11. So like that's how long we've known his family. Like so we go way back. We go way back. So I called because I had to skip an appointment a few months ago for something, and I called up and I said, hey, listen, I can't make it today. Can we reschedule, please? Blah, blah, or next day or whatever. They said, yeah, no problem. I said, you know, my name is Whit Petrell and blah, blah, blah. And, can we schedule for this date? And then at the end of the conversation, the receptionist that was there, she was like, by the way, thank you so much for doing your live streams. And I was like, like on the phone, I was like, what? Like that was the weirdest thing because I don't really know who that person was. I knew her, but you know, from going in there, and I was like, wait, what? And she goes, yeah, you're in Steel Rod. And I said, yeah. And she was like, we watch your live streams all the time. Like it helps us get away from stuff.
That's
awesome, it helps us get away. And I was like, that was incredible. Like that. I mean, I was just trying to change a dentist appointment. So after my deductible
I'm
was
just
paid,
trying to get my crown fixed.
Dude. So after I I went in for my cleaning just recently, all nice pearly whites.
Yeah.
I went in for my cleaning, and after my x-rays and all this stuff, after my deductible and all that, I think I owed like $12 or something like that for the visit. And I went up to go pay, and the other receptionist that was there, she was like, oh, don't worry about it. She took care of it. She said that was the tip for your live streams.
No,
I was like,
way,
so she paid for my $12 for my deductible. I thought, and you know, it's like little stories like that
yeah, man,
that just remind me of just how much music brings joy to people's lives, especially during times like this. So going back to this article, when we get it, I'm just like, I already feel defeated before before I even finished the article. Cause I'm like, okay, now I'm going to have to, I'm already thinking ahead. Like, how am I going to transfer the majority of our live streams to another platform? How are we going to promote that? How are we going to market that? And because we're doing most of our advertising and marketing through Facebook and Instagram. So now we have to go to
they're owned by the same company.
Yeah. So now we have to go through a whole new platform, and we have to build up a whole new fan base. And now we have to make, because what I know is that getting people to watch a live stream, sometimes you just have to make it as easy as possible. So that's why we put it up on Steel Rod. We share it to our personal pages. We have our friends share it and watch parties. And so when it's on your feed, it's just so easy to click on it. But if we have to put up a link here so you can click over to here and then go to YouTube, and then you're going to have to sign in, and then you're going to have to subscribe to this. I mean, if you're putting up blocks and blocks and blocks in front of people getting there. So I'm just like reading that article. I'm already thinking about like, how are we going to do this? And then 2 days later, they came out with this new article that basically just explained it better and said, no, it's not that bad. We're still going to allow this. We're still going to allow that. It's, they made it a lot easier. But the problem is, I think a lot of the damage has already been done, because they put out this initial article and it got shared a million times. I mean, all of my musical friends were like, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? And it was like, oh crap, so it's like that analogy of, if you go put a picture on every person in your block on their doorstep, the wind's going to blow stuff away, so
absolutely.
Do you think that if we put out that first article and all these, a million people saw it, but you put out another article 2 days later, do you think all of those million people saw the second article? Because there might be, maybe 200,000 saw that. So you got 800,000 people over, or let's just say half and half. Maybe half of the people didn't see the new article. So they're still walking around freaking out.
And that's the art of propaganda. And I call it an art form, because that's exactly what it is. It's the art of propaganda, propagandizing anything. It could be a rumor about Whit's beard being fake or something like that, like, oh, you got it implanted or some shit like that, and that's the first thing they'll read. But no, what the second side goes, no, it's not fake, he painted it so it does look fake, or some shit like that. Something so dumb, because you're getting ready for a Halloween costume prep or whatever. That's exactly what, like, I'll give you an example.
Oh, I got one for you. You remember oh, I love her. Oh, I can't think of her name right now. She was one of the Golden Girls.
And Betty White?
Yes. Betty White. So she there was an article going around, and it said Betty White died, but it was spelled died like because she dyed her hair. So she dyed her hair, and but people went ballistic and was like like, she died. Oh my God, she died. It's amazing to see, just like that, just the headlines, I'm reading a book right now. It's a marketing book, on how to market through digital platforms. And I'm reading it, because I'm curious about the different, the different things that you can do, the different, testing through Facebook, testing through Instagram, about getting followers, getting people to interact. There's interaction. There's so I'm reading this book, and it's interesting that they're talking a lot about this, like the headlines, your content, what time of day do you post, who are your target audiences. So there's so much that goes into this. So when, I look at my Facebook feed very differently now, because now when I see my Facebook feed, I'm like, okay, that is directly for me, because of the things that I've clicked on. I totally understand the algorithm now. And now that
I know analytics, man, that's what
I know that Facebook is sending me this, because the last 2 days I was on Amazon looking at hammocks. So all of a sudden now I've got videos on going and being in a hammock. So, I mean, it's
That's why the Consumer Privacy Act passed.
Yeah.
That's why
crazy,
every website
man.
you go to, you have to agree to let them basically market stuff to you. So Bodhi says something here. Bombard Facebook with 5 sets per day to 11:59 p.m. the day before, asking everyone to email you guys and capture everyone you can and email them a link with a video, some shit like that. Well,
oh wow,
not bad.
We should just do a last day of September live stream and just go like literally let's do one of those. We're going live at 10 a.m. and we're just gonna play until we have no more songs left or 11:59 p.m.
I think that happened already the first time. I think the first Steel Rod stream, you guys started like at 11.
That was ridiculous
in the morning, dude. And 11 pizzas later, and like 87 beers.
You know what though? We needed the pizza though, because like we were. I mean, you saw the picture on Instagram at the end of the night. Oh my God!
I'm like, I have never seen you guys like that. Ever. You guys were, I seen Rod exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, holy crap, dude.
It was nuts, man. It was good times, though. That was pretty cool.
Nonetheless, I want that to keep going.
Yeah.
It seems that Facebook is not going to put a stop to it, which is great. But that's just the thing. It's like, this is disinformation that gets, thrown across the board. And, speaking of disinformation, there's, I got into some disinformation just recently. First, I got into some real declassified stuff at first. And this is something I'm like, I'm going to wait, Boris is on to something today, dude. Look at that.
Steel Rodathon. Oh, it's going down, Boris. The Steel Rodathon.
With your host, fucking Rick Ortiz.
Hey. Oh my God. What day does is it September 30th? What day does that fall on?
September 30th, I think, is on a Tuesday. I think. Hold on. I will double check for you right now. September 30th is on a Wednesday.
It's on a Wednesday. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Wednesday is usually our rehearsal night, so we might be able to get some babysitters and figure. I mean, I'm actually kind of down to do a Steel Rodathon.
Dude.
Maybe
you need some IVs and
maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll do a Steel Rodathon. Ice packs. And maybe we'll do a Steel Rodathon and we'll do a Steel Rodathon, and maybe we can bring down some special guests. And that'd be crazy.
I'm down to jam in, dude.
That'd be so crazy.
I'm down to jam in. I probably don't fit in that space, but I'll try. Is that one of those live streams where like there's a ghost in the background and you just see it behind your curtain?
I think my wife fell asleep with the TV on.
That's okay. I'm not alone on that one. Yes. Okay,
that's awesome. I was just trying to see what she was watching. I think it's How I Met Your Mother.
So I got into some crazy stuff. I wanted to share them with you because they're relevant to what we're both into and what you do for a living.
Okay.
And let me share this with you, man. This is pretty wild stuff. This is let me read this context for you. So we all love a good conspiracy theory. Let me make sure I get it nice and big for you. That's what she said. Thus, we've compiled the wildest, weirdest, and most outrageous music conspiracy theories ever made. And guess what number 10 is? Elvis Presley is still alive, Whit.
Someone's got to tag Eddie Stevens right now in the comments. I would love to see what he has to say about this. I'm very curious. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to tag him.
Tag him right now. So the Alivers, that's what they call themselves. They're a noble group of people who know for certain that Elvis is still alive. Alivers have noticed the misspelling of his name on the tombstone at Graceland, which reads Aaron instead of Aaron as his middle name. Furthermore, the coroner's diagnosis of cardiac arrhythmia is more than suspect, as it cannot be determined in a dead body.
Hold on one second.
That's pretty trippy. Okay. plus the rumors of Presley sweating in his casket are proof that the body was made of wax. What's more, there's a curious fact that his autopsy was placed under a 50-year seal, and to the rumors of numerous Presley sightings as an old is it codger or codger?
You got me, bro. My video's still buffering.
No, you're good. It'll come back. Okay. There you go. So that's pretty trippy. I mean, so I'll go to the next one right now, but this one's kind of like, this one's huge because it's Elvis, dude. Did you tag him?
Yeah, I think he just commented right now.
There he is. Let's see. He is not alive. How do you know, Eddie? Have you looked into it?
Eddie,
have you looked into it?
Have you seen this?
He's not alive.
Eddie, I mean, they make a good argument.
This is okay. So they're saying that the misspelling of his name on the tombstone at Graceland read Aaron instead of Aaron. Okay. Eddie said, I have been to Graceland. I felt him at the gravesite. Ooh.
Yeah. No, I believe you.
Enough.
I believe you.
But check this out, Eddie. You gotta get into like, oh no, but check this out. That the coroner's diagnosis of cardiac arrhythmia is more than suspect, as it cannot be determined in a dead body. How do you explain that, Eddie? How do you explain that, huh? Oh man,
I'll be honest. I don't know anything about it. So.
I don't either. He says he loved his fans far too much to leave them.
I believe that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, does that the same go for Tupac Shakur? Because there's another one.
I am not
he's still alive.
That Tupac is alive.
Yeah. That one just resurfaced not too long ago.
Is that the same people that say that Elvis is alive?
I don't know if it's the same group, but they're basically called they're truthers or whatever. But
like flat earthers?
he faked his autopsy and fled. And
like apparently Arnold Schwarzenegger and Eraser, like
you have been erased.
Like
oh man. Okay, that's number 10. That one's pretty wicked, but this is number 9. This is the one that really I was like, what the fuck? That Katy Perry. Hold on, before I do that.
Yeah, before we listen.
Eddie says, I have worked with many of those that worked with Elvis, and they will all tell you he's gone. He was the salary maker for way too many to cut them off so suddenly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Buddy says Elvis is overrated. So Katy Perry is actually Jonbenet Ramsey. Do you remember who Jonbenet Ramsey is?
Real quick.
Yeah.
Eddie Stevens. Hey, bro. Thanks for jumping on so quick, man. I tagged you real quick, but thanks for jumping on, man. We needed a professional on this, so appreciate your input, bro. Appreciate it.
Oh, he says Boris has no taste. Wait, so do you remember who Jonbenet Ramsey is?
Wasn't that something about a little girl who died, right?
It was a child beauty pageant winner. So
yes.
Sonia said flat earthers. Yeah, I guess you could call them that. The Alivers. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of. Yeah, I was like, is it the?
Yeah. So on the night of Christmas, 1996, I was a freshman in high school. You were what? Junior, senior?
Christmas time, 96. I was a senior.
Okay. Yeah. Jonbenet Ramsey, a child beauty pageant winner, was found dead in her home in Boulder, Colorado.
Yeah.
Ramsey had a broken skull and had been strangled. She was only 6 years old. However, conspiracists believe that Jonbenet Ramsey was kidnapped that night by her parents as part of an Illuminati hoodwink and resurfaced as Katy Perry in 2008. The only real evidence, it seems, that is the fact that white people look the same, but I guess only time. Oh shit!
Well, do they have a side by side as like?
You want me to show you?
I'm curious now. Like,
all right, so Katy Perry.
You piqued my interest. So We've got Katy Perry,
Jonbenet Ramsey.
That's one. Wait, okay.
That wasn't too hard to find. Wow.
Jonbenet.
They have a side by side, and I was just like, what?
Oh yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, it's. Wait, do they have a picture of Katy Perry when she was 6? Or
I think they do. So let me share the actual tab. Let me share the tab. This is wicked. You're gonna trip out. Look at that. You see that?
I can kind of, it's grainy, but it's. Yeah, but the thing is, it doesn't show her at the same age, though.
Okay, let's see if we could find one of those.
Can you find a picture of Katy Perry when she was 6?
Let's see.
We're going to get down to the bottom of this.
We're going to look into it, just like Eddie Bravo. Oh, man. Are we really going into this rabbit hole? I think we are, man.
Oh,
she doesn't even look like this anymore. Wait, is this a compilation? If it's not at the
top, then we're...
Let's see. Katy Perry... Jonbenet Ramsey.
I mean, it's similar, but
young pictures. Let's say young pictures, maybe.
You might not want to be putting this young pictures. Like, we shouldn't be doing this.
FBI just entered the chat, bro.
Yeah, right.
Oh, and then there's this: the conspiracy of OJ being
what?
Khloe is it? I don't know what the fuck these bitches' names are. One of the Kardashians. They look at OJ's eyes. They are red.
I'm just glad that they're off the air next year, and I can say, say, I never watched one episode of the Kardashians. So
I've never watched anything in any of that. So that's a younger picture of Katy Perry and then Jonbenet.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same.
No,
not even close.
Okay, so we escaped that one with grace. So let's go to the next.
We can have
there's as much grace as we've gotten. So the next one would be number 8. Bob Dylan stole "Blowing in the Wind" from a student. This one's new. I've never heard of this one before.
How would you prove that?
So Bob Dylan's second single, 1963's "Blowing in the Wind," was a historic success, but did Dylan write the song? The answer is no, according to a New Jersey high school student, Laura Wyatt, who wrote a newspaper article claiming the troubadour's theft. However, after more than a decade, Wyatt conceded, admitting that he found the lyrics and music in the folk magazine Broadside, then passed off Dylan's work as his own. In truth, though, only the words were Dylan's. He based the melody off "No More Auction Block for Me," an old gospel. Dylan sketched out the lyrics on April 16th, 1962, and a musician named Gil Turner played it for the first time later the night at Gerd's Folk City. This one's pretty interesting. Wow. Bodie says, phone is dying. Love you guys. You're supposed to have it plugged in while you're watching us, Bodie's, okay? Next to your bed. God. Technology, guys. So I don't know. I don't know so much about this Bob Dylan thing. Do you think there was a lot of music theft back then? Hell yeah, there was.
I think if you're gonna steal music, it was a lot easier to do it back then than it is now. I mean, you can't even. I mean, so I uploaded a vlog to my YouTube page, not like a year ago, something like that, and I didn't use anybody's music. I didn't use anything. Like, I kept it very generic, and I was playing with the long run, and we went up to Big Bear, or I think we were at Paula Casino, and we were just doing sound check. And so I'm doing sound check, and I'm videotaping Larry Hampton. Larry Hampton is the Don Felder of the band. And he was just doing the sound check of Hotel California, just doing the sound check, playing it on his own, whatever. And I used maybe about 20 seconds of it. Him just doing sound check, and I did sound check I took video of like the drums and the bass and everything. And so there was only 20 seconds of him playing it, not even playing the song, and that video got flagged. Like,
wow, really?
Yeah, it got flagged for copyright infringement. And I was like,
Eddie said something here. Let's see. Back then, musicians weren't as good. How many songs were 1, 4, 5 chord progressions?
Very true.
You only make so many melodies on the same chord progression. That is 100% true, yeah. Eddie.
And, but where things got different was the feel behind it, and that's where different swings to it, different feels to it. Like, how many different 1, 4, 5 progressions songs do you know that sound completely different, but they're in the same key? They're in the same key, the same progression.
Absolutely.
But they sound different mostly because of the feel behind it, or the attack, or the or the meter. So, I mean, but like, as far as like stealing stuff, I think it was a lot easier to steal things back then, because like if me and you are homies in the 60s and we're chilling at a house, and you show me a tune that you wrote, and I have a better connection at making something happen, and I go make it happen right away. Nowadays, if me and you are homies and you write a song and you have documentation of you writing it and recording it, even just at your house, it's so much easier to be like, nah, he came out with this, Whit came out with this song, but I wrote it 2 years ago, and here's the proof because I recorded it 2 years ago. I think nowadays it's a lot harder to steal music. I mean, unless you don't protect yourself, and that's one thing that I learned from one of my really good friends for over 20 years, Mr. Gabriel Santana Falcon. Yeah, he was the original drummer for Steel Rod when we first started. It was me and him and Rod. And he got a job up in Vegas, and he's been up there ever since. He's doing some great stuff up there. But one thing that he told me from the get, he was like, protect your music, like protect it. And he was very adamant about that. Even to this day, he's very adamant about it. So
that's the first thing I didn't learn.
What was
that's the first thing I didn't learn, to protect your music. Instead, I did a poor man's copyright, which doesn't really guarantee anything.
So where you put a CD in an envelope and you mailed it
and
to yourself?
mail it to yourself, and you don't open it. Yeah,
I have a few of those.
All right, so number 8 was that. Number 7, Stephen King killed John Lennon.
Okay.
I repeat, Stephen King killed John Lennon. Yes, the same Stephen King that wrote It and
The Shining.
The Shining. And
okay, let's hear the argument. I'm curious.
The conspiracy theory that claimed horror writer Stephen King instead of the convicted Mark David Chapman who killed John Lennon is certainly among the most convincing. Stephen Lightfoot exclaimed his theory during a 2009 town council meeting in Sarasota, Florida. Okay, hold on. You said Florida.
Slow your roll.
Okay.
I'm with Eddie on this one.
All right. Let's see. Yoko killed John.
I'm with Eddie on this.
Ask me. Ooh, tough one. So Stephen Lightfoot believes a photo of the killer looks like Stephen King, and Nixon and Reagan covered it up due to Lennon's outspoken anti-war stance. And it reads here in quotes, Stephen King is the worst criminal the state of Florida has ever harbored, Lightfoot exclaimed, before Police Chief Peter Abbott escorted him out of the meeting. Lightfoot then vandalized the vehicle with a message, "It's true or he'd sue." What?
I mean, that's just that line right there. Lightfoot believes that a photo of the killer looks like Stephen King, and Nixon and Reagan covered it up due to Lennon's outspoken. Okay, that's a plausible,
let's see. Let's Mark David
like
Chapman.
It could happen, but let's be real though. Where's the evidence? So you can have just a one sentence. I think he did it, and I think these people covered it up because of this. It's like, okay, that's an interesting theory, But Boris, stop it with everyone overrated. Hey, Steel Rod is overrated, bro.
Okay, now you got to see this picture because now I'm tripping. This is pretty interesting. So there's Mark David Chapman, and there's Stephen King. Look at that.
It's the glasses, bro.
The glasses, the eyebrow.
Dude, the nose is totally different. His nose is sticking up. His nose is sticking down. Yeah, nose is totally different. That's completely two different. That's like me and you, bro.
The real killer's right there on the left, dude.
Yes, indeed.
That's a real killer right there. Wow, dude, that is so crazy.
I'm kind of curious. I'm actually now. I'd love to see like any type of documentary on John Lennon, because I've heard a lot of the stories that people have talked about Yoko, and then even like nowadays when you see like Yoko did you see that video where she went into like a mall and started like speaking in tongues? And that was
I've seen that. I've seen that.
That was her performance? Like, really? Like first of all, who goes to see her anyways right now? Like, seriously. But like, I'm kind of curious back in the day. Like, I'd like to know more about that whole story. I don't know.
By the way, Mark David Chapman had a 2012 parole hearing. That wasn't too long ago. It was like 8 years ago. That's what he looks like now.
Is he out?
I don't know. That is so crazy. But look at that. That's a trip.
I mean,
man.
After seeing that, I don't think that you can base that whole conspiracy off of the picture, and you think that these people covered it up because of this. Like, I don't know.
Well, here's number 6, and Chuck Ayala, shout out to him because he's the one that turned me onto this a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Stevie Wonder isn't blind.
Oh,
and I quote the great Chuck Ayala. That fool ain't blind. And I'm like, how do you know? Did you ever see him catch that mic stand that Paul McCartney dropped? And I'm like, what?
Wait, what?
Have you seen the video?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Now you gotta show me. Now you gotta show me.
Okay. Wait, what did Bodhi say? Yoko is underrated. She's more fucked up than we think.
Yeah.
Yes.
This much
I cannot disagree.
100.
So I'm gonna search.
The only video that I've seen of Stevie Wonder was when he was playing drums. And like, I'm not talking about recent. I've seen recent videos of him playing drums and he's killing it but I saw a video of him like way back in the day when he got up and just, bottom line is he's an incredible musician, blind or not. Like, he's just incredible. But maybe it's like Daredevil, and like he just like senses it. He sees things different. Like, he sees with sonar. I don't know.
Wow. This is some, man. As the minute I typed it into YouTube, there was like a plethora of brace yourself. This is crazy. Look at that. Right. I typed in Stevie Wonder catches microphone on stage, and look at all this. So brace yourself. This is the video.
Oh, now I gotta see this. It's grainy, but I'm gonna have to look it up later. Is Stevie Wonder
blind? Look at, there goes the mic stand.
Boom.
Oh wait, I think they break this shit down now.
Boom. He's all, bam. I got this. Oh, maybe he's not blind.
Let's see. How did he know?
He leaned into it, dude. He leaned into it.
What the hell, dude?
Legit. Look at him. He's just enjoying his time. You know what, though? Maybe he felt
Paul McCartney like
walk by him and just
the slow motion kills me,
and
dude.
Like, out of everybody there, he's the only one who reached out for it. Like, he's got, I'm telling you.
Let's see exactly when Stevie grabs the mic. The mic begins to fall. Stevie has got that beautiful illustration, by the way.
Clapping.
Stops clapping as if he sees the mic. Stevie leans forward as to catch the mic. Stevie catches the mic with his forearm.
Yeah. Maybe he put his hand out to like give a high
Opens
five.
His hand.
He's a ninja, dude. He's a ninja.
Stevie grabs a mic.
He's a ninja.
Stevie hands were the first to grab the mic. Nifty little trick for a blind guy. I love the graphics, dude.
Oh man.
Oh, what else is there? Stevie can see apparently.
Okay, hold on.
Stevie Wonder's not blind, slow verification videos. They even asked him. Stevie Wonder reacts to rumors that he's not actually blind at LAX.
Wait, so
Shaq tells a story about seeing Stevie Wonder in an elevator. Okay, I don't know what that is about. But.
Okay, so going back to the conspiracy stuff, they just say it based off of the video that we just talked about. Mccartney.
I get, but I don't know. I mean, there's other ones here. Like for example, there's Lionel Richie saying something there at the Kelly Clarkson show.
Kelly Clarkson has a show?
She had a show a long time ago, but
was it good?
I don't know. Okay, Shaq says something here. Let's see. Let's see what Shaq says.
Don't do it.
There's no way this is
Go ahead. I know what you're going to ask me.
You think Stevie Wonder can see?
Listen.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That's the craziest thing ever.
I'm saying.
Oh, shit. It's buffering.
We got to get that 5
minutes. YouTube.
Help us. On Wilshire Boulevard.
Wait. All right. Wait, you lived in the building with Stevie.
With Stevie, okay? Right. You used to have to drive to the bottom underneath to park your car.
Uh-huh.
I'm coming to the first floor that day. Mm-hmm. It goes down because when I got in, I didn't press the button. So it went down first.
Oh, come on,
Stevie
Shaq.
got in. I'm standing in the corner. I didn't say nothing. And he looked over and he's like, "What up, Big Diesel?" And he turned his head, hit his button, and got off. I mean, listen,
come on.
I'm telling you what happened. I don't know if I was smelling from practice that day, but he just turned around. "What's up, Diesel?" Hit his button. Yeah.
There's no way.
No. And you know Shaq being one of the most sincere dudes, man. Yeah. Let's see, Steve. What he says? Stevie gave my son a kazoo at a NAMM show. True story.
Oh, nice.
How do you know he was your son? Huh?
How do you know
it was a kazoo?
How do you know it was a kazoo? How did he know it was a kazoo?
Damn. That's what I'm saying. All right, so number 5. Radiohead released a song called Putting Ketchup in the Fridge in December 2011.
What's the conspiracy?
I don't know. This is weird. So in December 2011, many websites were astir with the news that the strangely titled track Putting Ketchup in the Fridge was indeed a Radiohead demo from the early 1990s. Fans of the art rock behemoth also confirmed that it was definitely 100% undeniably Thom Yorke singing. Not long after its surface, it came to light that the song was actually by Canadian musician Christopher Stopa, who was slightly surprised yet humbled by the acclaim coming his way, all the more because he had given up music and become a baker. It's not much of a conspiracy, but more like a Mandela effect, I would say. And I'm not the biggest Radiohead fan. I mean, I like some songs, but I don't know. That's kind of weird. Maybe that's more like a Mandela effect, dude. If you ask me.
Next.
Just like, for example, everyone thinks at the end of "We Are the Champions," they've heard Freddie Mercury say "of the world."
Yeah,
which is not how the song ends. You know that, right? Of course you do.
Say it again.
At the end of "We Are the Champions," you ask someone, "How does the song end?" And they start humming it to you, and then they say, "Oh, the world."
Of the world. Yeah.
But he doesn't say that. He's never said that.
That's in the middle. That's in the middle.
I believe it wasn't in the middle. It was an unreleased version of the song that never made the cut. but everyone thinks that was the final master cut. And that's what they've all been hearing this whole time.
I'll have to go back and re-listen to it because I could have sworn that he. I mean, yeah, I'm probably with him. I could have sworn that when he was playing, he would say, "Of the world, I paid my dues," and then it goes into a verse.
Are you sure?
God, I could be totally wrong. I haven't listened to the song in a long time, and now I need to.
I play it on here, but Facebook's going to get mad at me, okay?
Yeah, Facebook get mad at me. What are they going to do?
Right. Number 4.
Stop you from live streaming?
You cannot create a music listening experience on my product. Eat a dick. Paul McCartney died in 1966, Whit.
That's what I heard. Everybody
knows that Paul McCartney died. Everyone knows, Whit.
Even though I saw him last year in concert at Dodger Stadium, I was in row 3.
It was
I could feel the heat when the pyrotechnics went off.
Oh,
and
shit.
when Ringo walked out to play drums and then Joe Walsh came out to play guitar, I'm like, and you know what? Because I'm on.
Why did Paul McCartney have pyrotechnics?
Oh, it was what song was that? I still have the video too. I have to send a
Bearstein. Wait, Bearstein Bears or Berenstein Bears?
Or I'm just a Bears fan, so the Bears.
Paul overrated.
Oh no, dude, he's not. You haven't seen. No, sorry, Boris. I gotta disagree with you on that one. I went and I gotta send a shout out to my little sister Shivani, who they could only buy tickets in pairs of 2, so they bought 4 tickets in row 3, like almost in the center of Dodger Stadium, but it was just my brother-in-law, my sister, and their daughter. And she's oh God, how old was she? Maybe like 7, something like that. 8 maybe at the most.
She's a huge Beatles fan.
And yeah, she's all in. She knew all the songs. She knew all the lyrics. She knew all that stuff.
That's so awesome.
So
dude.
and my sister goes, "Hey, you want to go see Paul McCartney? I got an extra ticket." And I was like, "How much?" And she's like, we had to get it anyways. Don't worry about it. Just come." So
wow.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there and it was such a great experience because I've never seen Paul McCartney, but then being there, witnessing all that, and being able to hang out with my little niece and share, music with her, it was super cool. What's funny is that the night before we went to the concert, I was playing with the Long Run, the Eagles tribute band in East Vale at some outdoor park, right? And and they came to see me play, and they were way at the back, and there was probably 1,000 people there. It was a big park. It was a huge park. So they got there late, and they saw me from way back, and my little sister was like, "That's Uncle Whit. That's Uncle Whit on the stage up there." And she goes, "Where?" "On the stage. That's him." So then they walked up to the front, and they saw me, and they were dancing and stuff like that. So then when we were at when we were going to the Paul McCartney concert, she goes, "So this is kind of like what Uncle Whit does. Like all these people," she was like, "all these people came to see Paul McCartney like all those other people came to see Uncle Whit." I was like, yeah, just kind of a big difference on the amount of people.
You're like, yeah, let me just about that.
Yeah, I mean, you know what?
There's no pyrotechnics,
and you're definitely family, but I thought it was.
Hey, it's cool, a thought that counts, man.
But I'll tell you what, Paul McCartney's not dead. He's not dead.
So some fans think that they hear John Lennon saying, "I buried Paul" at the end of Strawberry Fields Forever, that the car accident that took his life is specifically referenced in A Day in the Life, and that the procession on the cover of 1969's Abbey Road is actually to Paul McCartney's funeral. Interesting, huh? Oh, shit. Whit Petrell, underrated. Fuck.
You know what, Boris? That's the first thing we agree on right now, dude.
Number 3, the CIA murdered Bob Marley. This one I've heard a lot of, dude. This is crazy. So the original account of Bob Marley's death is already fairly suspicious. Marley died in May 1981. after a toe injury from a soccer match exposed a lesion under the nail. He was later diagnosed with malignant melanoma, yet Marley refused to have the toe amputated as it would hinder his dancing. The cancer eventually killed him, though apparently it wasn't that simple. Conspiracy says the CIA sought to oust Marley, whose growing message of peace conflicted with their views. Some believe the son of former CIA Director William Kobe gave Marley a pair of boots fitted with a poison-coated copper wire near the toe. This was supposedly an extension of the CIA's failed assassination attempt with sharpshooters earlier to the cancer. Mm-hmm. Marley did, in fact, survive the 1976 assassination attempt by 3 gunmen at his home in Jamaica. That I did not know. I didn't know that one. That's crazy. What did he say? Bob was taken out.
Yeah.
That's not too far-fetched, man. I mean, this one is kind of credible.
Yeah, I remember hearing something about the failed assassination attempt. I remember hearing something about that, or maybe reading something about that. God, this was a long time ago, but I did a book report on Bob Marley in my junior year in high school. Problem was, I'm dyslexic, and I didn't finish the book, so like I only got it. So I got like 3/4 of the way through, and I ended up getting a B on the test, but I don't care what it was. C's get degrees. So, anyways, but like
C's get degrees.
But I remember hearing something about that he was it was like there was attempted murder on him, but when the paragraph above that, that's kind of interesting. I mean, because we have a good friend of ours who had a similar problem with like a blister, and I've known some people that have had blisters on their toes, and like, I mean, if you don't get that, if that shit gets infected, like you don't get that taken care of, like, I mean, that shit can cost you your life. That really can. Like, that's legit.
Yeah.
So, and I totally understand what, I'm not going to cut it off because that's going to affect my dancing. I mean, personally, I would say cut it off because, that's going to affect your living. But like, absolutely. But the conspiracy part about that somebody gave him a boot that has a copper wire. Like, I mean, that might be a little far-fetched,
But that nonetheless, very, very interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, number 2.
Okay.
Avril Lavigne replacement. One of the most essential conspiracy theories ever. Avril Lavigne was replaced after her first album, Let Go, which I thought was brilliant because it was produced by Don Gilmore, who did the Linkin Park album, the first one, which featured the hit single Skater Boy. Mm-hmm. There, I said it. Okay. Her doppelganger was Melissa Vandella, who was slightly taller than the original Avril. Moreover, Avril began leaving Easter eggs in her lyrics, particularly in the track Under the Skin, where she talks about a host that you can hide behind. A host that you can hide behind. The most concrete fact of all, however, is the point that the world can't live without Avril Lavigne. Of course, they had a replacement. Could you imagine the devastation of a world without Avril? That was kind of
now dumb. This is ridiculous.
All right, and the last one is Justin Bieber is a reptilian overlord.
I believe it.
The reptilians, the greatest of all species and elites of our world. And who is admittedly among their ranks? Justin Bieber, of course, the baby-faced bad boy, is harboring a forked tongue after blinking weirdly in an interview.
I remember that
He also joins Barack Obama, Madonna, Katy Perry. I thought Katy Perry was Jonbenet Ramsey, damn it.
Okay, well, maybe they just...
Angelina Jolie and those A-listers who are part of a secret lizard race sent here to take over the world with.
Ooh.
And those are...
You know what? I want to read more up on... that, the reptilian people that are taking over the world.
I've seen the videos. I don't know.
Did you see the video of Justin when he blinked all weird?
There's an actual video?
Oh yeah, it was
Let
nuts.
me see.
Yeah, it was
what, Justin Bieber Reptilian video.
Just put Reptilian blink, I guess, because like he was like literally in front of a camera and he blinked like sideways or something like that. It was like something straight out of like, you know, Men in Black. Like,
But
you know what I'm talking about. You never saw that?
Transformed into a lizard. That's what he's saying.
No, I'm not seeing that, but there was an actual video of him where he blinked weird, like it would blink sideways, and his eyes were all weird. But I mean, look at the technology we have nowadays. Anybody could, you know.
What the fuck? Oh, Justin Bieber blink.
Like weird
blinks.
Yeah, blink.
Weird blink.
You'll find it. It should be up, and unless Facebook took down too.
No, I'm checking out YouTube, and this is, oh, what the fuck? Justin Bieber's eyes changed during court.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was like a court.
Shit.
Are you watching it?
Well, it's debunked, so let's see if it's
what did they say it was? Like it was, you know, some really cool guy with Adobe Premiere.
I guess, or After Effects. What the fuck? Let's watch the actual court video and see if we could spot it, because that's the one where he's wearing the jumpsuit.
Yeah, he's wearing the jumpsuit. And like I remember seeing it and I was like, oh, that was weird.
This one, right?
Yeah. And his eyes like.
All right, the first case this afternoon is Justin Bieber. Mr. Bieber, you are charged with the following.
Oh, wait,
DUI.
Hold on. I just saw that. I just saw that.
I told you.
Yeah. What was that?
Watch.
DUI.
Wow, what the fuck?
I told you.
That.
Yeah.
It goes
That's
from
weird, bro.
that.
Yeah, it
that.
Crazy change, right?
Whoa.
Yeah. That's the first time you've seen that? Really?
Oh, shit.
All right, the first case this afternoon is Justin Bieber. Mr. Bieber, you are charged with the following.
That is fucking
DUI,
weird.
alcohol, or drugs. Resisting without violence.
What in the fuck? That is trippy, dude.
All right, the first case this afternoon is Justin Bieber.
All right, hold on. Right there.
Yeah.
That. What the fuck is that?
Right?
Look, that's normal.
And then, like, yeah, what is that?
I have
Mr. Bieber, you are charged with the following.
Yo, that is trippy.
Yeah.
What in the hell?
Lizard, he's a lizard man.
Whoa, dude.
That's why he gets $200 million when he's 20 years old.
Justin Bieber me la pela.
I'm so glad you found a phone charger, Boris.
That is so crazy. All right. Well, we're going to end this segment with something very, very new and very interesting, because I've been obsessed with this shit, because it's intriguing to me that these people, both male and female, but predominantly female,
okay,
have like this super sense of entitlement, man. And they're basically Karen. They're Karen freakouts. And I've seen them all over the place, man. And I wanted to share this with the world. And if you guys don't know, well, here's what I'll do. Just to give everyone better viewing capabilities, I'm going to throw it into a browser, make it in full screen. So.
All right. I know what's coming right now. That's why I had to get a beer.
So it's basically like the video is top 10 Karen freakouts.
Top 10 Karen freakouts.
Yeah, but
I'm curious though. They don't talk about like what, like they don't have a genre.
Yeah, it's gonna give you I think it's gonna give you the context of what each freakout is about. But nonetheless, man, I mean, I've been seeing this more and more, and it's just so fucking bizarre, man. It's bizarre to the point where I'm just like, these people actually do exist, man. This is crazy. So I'll pause it between each one so we could talk about it.
This is great for you. On today's video, what are we going to the top 10 Karens caught on camera?
Is you're cutting into my freedom of liberty. I want to exercise. Okay?
And then why we get a British Karen.
Wait, what?
Hold on. I think this is just a preview. Let's just let the preview go, and then we'll figure out.
There's a British Karen. Okay. We're not in.
Oh, was that really? That was one of them?
Yeah, well, it is, but what the hell is she? Let's see. Let's go back. What's this all about?
He's saying top 10.
Okay.
And then why we get a British Karen. She saw that a mail van was parked outside of her house and had a problem with it for some reason. So she went outside with a metal pipe and got up in this dude's face. No reason whatsoever. But I mean, I think that's a bit rude, isn't it?
What are you doing? What are you doing that for? Hey, why are you doing that? You've attacked my son's car 3 times. You pulled the sticker off it.
Are you quite legal to park over somebody's drive?
Is it? Don't get too close, please, because I don't want to breathe the same air as you.
Well, you are, unfortunately. Yes.
Well, it's Corona, if you don't mind, so keep back off.
What the fuck? No fucking way.
Because you're not allowed to park on your drive.
You stop vandalising my fucking son's car, right?
You're a bully.
Why am I?
You're a thief.
Just get her in, will you?
You're like stealing from your workplace.
Why am I stealing?
There's Karens in every country, bro. Oh, that's awesome. I thought we were the only ones.
You like
stealing from work?
Listen to that.
Criminal.
What would it time if we get a rare forest Karen? She was out in the forest on this trail.
Wow. Look at that. A forest Karen. Whit.
It's a Farron.
Came across 2 other girls who were walking around themselves and apparently were picking some berries off a bush. And I don't know what was wrong with this lady, but she decided that she was the Lorax and that she speaks for the trees, because she started going off on these girls for picking and eating these berries, and then started freaking out and waving her arms around like she was possessed.
Oh my God,
we're not wrecking it. Oh, there's so many berries out here.
What the fuck? Wait, what was that? Yo.
So many berries.
Complete twits. We're twits. You're the one coming up to 2 young girls, getting mad at them for picking berries.
Hold on, let it go.
6 years old.
Because we wanted to eat some berries.
I'm saying, eat all the berries you want. Just don't take the bush with you.
It's not the bush. It's literally it's a tiny branch of berries.
Why don't you mind your own business?
Edward, if you go to a restaurant and you get some
oh Lord, what is with these people, man?
You know what's crazy is that, like, I mean, we can laugh about it, but at the same time, I think that I really think that, like, moving.
There's lizard people, Karens. Fucking weird.
Yes,
there's your lizard people.
Like, I think that, like, you think about when we start talking about, like, mental illness, like, I think that the Karen, it sucks
that you got to use that name.
Yeah, I know.
I know a lot of nice Karens.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, Karen, but just don't go all Karen on me. But like, I mean, when you talk about, like, when this could be like mental illness that we've never seen before, because of, who knows how many different factors that have contributed to mental illness just in the last 20 years, 30 years.
I'm sure the internet is prime suspect. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, but also you got to think about context, because we're just seeing them freak out. We don't see the lead up to it. So what if, the beforehand, those 2 girls were, antagonizing her to the point where she flips, and then they just videotape the flip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the 2 girls,
I want the director's cut.
I mean, you can see in that video that the one of the girls literally had like a giant branch bush with her that, so maybe that was ticking her off for some reason. I don't know, but like,
that's so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Food that you don't like because there's a problem with it or something like that, you tell the server immediately. You don't sit there and eat the entire plate pretty much and then tell your server, oh, there's an issue and try to get a refund. That's exactly what this guy did, though. He ate his entire plate and then said he had a problem and then tried to get it taken off his bill. But the manager, she wasn't falling for that and handled it incredibly well.
Yeah, yes, sir. I don't know that. You ate the whole entire thing. You can show that camera too.
No, I didn't eat. It's meat still on that chicken, man.
But there's nothing like.
It's meat still on that chicken, man.
Oh, fool, shut the fuck up. You know you just say, I don't want to pay for this. You might as well just get up and leave.
Yeah.
Dine and
This
dash.
whole entire plate has been eaten, sir.
Look at that. The bone.
Not unless you would have gotten us at the very beginning and said that you didn't like your meal. I could have replaced it for you.
Thank you. Yes.
So I gotta pay for that.
Yeah, you ate the whole
Absolutely, you got to pay for it.
There's not even like.
So she telling me I got to pay for that?
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
Let me ask the audience.
In number 7 spot, I feel awful.
That's legit.
Hey, bless her heart, man.
That's not
she
a
handled
Karen.
that like a champ, dude.
She's not a Karen. Like, not at all. Not even close.
No, they were pointing at the dude being a. I guess you could call him Kevin, man. Man, they come in all shapes, all forms, all ethnicities, man. That's what I'm saying. That's like, I think it's probably a mental illness, dude.
Yeah.
Meth's a hell of a drug. Yes, it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are hella drugs.
For this guy, he owns this house and he had some tenants in it. And these tenants, they could not find anywhere to live because none of the landlords would accept them. And he decided that he was going to give them a chance. Eventually, he realized why no other landlords would accept them because they refused to pay the rent and, among other things, did some stuff. And he eventually asked them to leave nicely. He didn't even get the law involved. Probably a mistake. And they trashed the place. I mean, they threw paint all over the floors and broke windows. I mean, it was a ton of damage. And he didn't have insurance on the place, from what I understand. So it was all out of his pocket. And you can just hear him at the end of this video. He's a broken man.
And stay the out the way. I don't bother nobody. I didn't care if you was in this selling drugs, doing whatever the you was doing. I didn't give a I told you, long as you keep my house up and pay me my rent, I wasn't gonna with y'all. Ain't no landlord doing that because I know y'all gotta feed y'all family like I gotta feed mine.
I feel for that guy.
This is what the y'all do to people.
That is fucked up, man.
I swear to God on my mama, if I see you, I'm going to prison.
Moving to 6, the Karen whose shed is being repossessed. It's kind of a weird thing to have repossessed. I guess she went to like Home Depot or something like that and bought one of their pre-made sheds or something like that for a couple grand. I don't know what's going on in this woman's life. All I know is that she was not paying the bills for it and somebody had to come and pick it up and take it back from her and she was not having any of it. She got super mad, got up in this guy's face. He started recording it, eventually made a TikTok out of it, funny enough. But she was throwing a huge hissy fit and trying to escalate the situation and blaming him for starting it.
It will take 10 minutes to get my goddamn brains out of here. Let go of it. Now.
What has she got in her hand?
I have no idea.
No.
What is she doing?
Do I need to call the cops on you?
No.
For assault?
No.
Yes.
You touched me first.
No, I did not touch
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Real quick, before you do the next one, make sure you leave a like on this video and also subscribe to my channel or else a Karen is going to yell at you to somewhere. I don't know where. It doesn't matter. But
nonetheless, I didn't want to go through all of them because they're kind of upsetting, man.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I think you've highlighted a very, very, I guess, X factor.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to call it, man. It might just be a mental illness that no one's really, spotlighting in a very concerning matter.
I think it's
everyone's
also
just taking videos and exploiting these people, but who knows? They're probably mentally, especially when they start going on racial slurs, man. That's painful to watch. And I'm surprised none of them get their asses beat, man. To be honest with you,
I think that the art of communication, and I think a lot of it has to do with social media. Like at the dawn of social media, now people are communicating with with these, and that's this is how we're communicating is through this, and there's no inflection on your voice, and there's no reading body language, and there's I think a lot of people, there's also the sense of entitlement, and there's also the not listening but waiting to talk. There's a lot, there's so many different factors. I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine a few nights ago. We got together at maybe 10 o'clock at night, and we literally stayed up until 5 a.m. in the parking lot chatting, because we haven't chatted in 8 months. And we had some great conversation, just talking about and literally the underlying theme of all the conversations was, there's too many factors in things right now. You can't paint stuff with a broad brush. You can't.
No, you can't.
Like when you're talking about politics, you can't paint, Republicans or Democrats with a broad brush that all Republicans are this or all Democrats are this. There's bristles in that paintbrush, and there's an infinite number of factors that go into all this. So when we talk about communication, the factors are exponential, because even when it comes to like this right here is better, because we can at least see each other, we can hear each other. You can hear how I'm talking, the inflection that I'm saying things with. You can also see my body language. You can see what I'm doing. Am I being like, hey, shut up and listen to me? Or I'm gonna be like, shut up and listen to me. There's a big difference in that. But with the dawn of social media, now how we communicate, the art of interpersonal communication is kind of lost. And so when you go through now, and that's just one factor, and then you fast forward through all the time and through all this time, and maybe there's other medication that's involved and stuff like that. So when you get these quote unquote Karens, maybe they're dealing with so many underlying issues that we don't even understand.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't know how to communicate. Maybe they don't know how to communicate. Maybe they're on medication that we don't know about. Maybe they need to be on medication that they're not on.
Absolutely.
And
that's what I'm thinking too.
And maybe they're freaking out because they're trying to get their point across, but we don't know how to communicate because everybody's so stuck on media. We don't know how to sit down face to face, and that's what gets so frustrating. And then some people take it to another level. You know what I mean? That could be one explanation. Another one could be people are racist and crazy.
That and they're just straight fucking entitled bitches. Because I've also seen videos of
big time.
I'm like, okay, I get it. Like,
I live in Huntington Beach, bro. I've seen some entitlement out here, but also I've seen it in California, and California is big on entitlement. There's a lot of entitlement out here. Like this whole. I think I was I telling you about it, about the merging onto the freeway?
No.
Okay.
No.
This is the weirdest thing, dude. Like I don't know how I came up.
One of the worst things that could happen is to have the illusion that communication exists. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, absolutely. And
what freeway were you merging onto?
Oh no, so I was how did this come up? I think we were talking about getting your driver's test, and I was having a conversation with someone. We were talking about getting your driver's test, and in the driver's handbook it says the rules of freeways and getting on is that when you get on the acceleration ramp, it is an acceleration ramp. You have to get up to speed in order to merge. So it's the job of the person getting on the freeway to gun it and just get up to speed so you can get in. And it's the job of the person on the freeway to recognize that and let them in. Or it's that job. Now, I don't know about you, but ever since I was 16.
What's up, Cliff?
What's happening? Ever since I was 16, when I was driving, every time I'm on the freeway and trying to get on, when I try to get onto the freeway, motherfuckers back here are speeding up to not let me in.
I hate that shit.
It's an entitlement of like, well, I was here first. You have to get behind me. And at least that's how I interpret it. And it happens even to this day. To this day, I'm speeding up to get onto the freeway, and you can see in your rearview mirror, and it's like, oh, this dude, like you're coming up together, and it's like this dude isn't gonna let me in.
Yeah.
So I have to slow down on the acceleration ramp in order to get it. So like,
or how about when you're merging into the slow lane into the freeway, and there's always this motherfucker trying to go around everyone. So what I do is like I keep it in the neutral. So if they go, they're like, "Oh, I can't get through," and I'm like, "No, man, you can't fucking do that, man."
The weirdest thing is
do that.
And when you look at it from that position of entitlement, that's kind of what it comes down to. Because I mean, what is it like? You're not gonna let me merge on the freeway because I'm accelerating to get onto the freeway, but you're not gonna obey the laws of the freeway because of why? Because you want to be 10 feet in front of me, because you want to get to your destination, or is it an entitlement part? Like, well, I was here first, and like you're not gonna, and that's what California is all about too. Is very much like fake it till you make it type.
That, and you're in a hurry to go nowhere. That's basically what it is.
Fakers. We're a bunch of fakers out here. So so it was. I can't remember who I was talking with about that, but it was just interesting talking about that situation, about how some people like we were talking about entitlement and how that subject came up, and just how that's just such a minute a minuscule part of like how entitled people are. Like you're not going to let someone merge because you're so entitled to be on the freeway that you're not going to.
Or I'm not going to wear a mask because you're infringing on my rights and you're killing me internally. My inner child is just so decimated. It's like,
here's the thing. Oh, we're not going to open that.
Yeah. Well, it's already been open. So, I mean, I think we've had other people do the speaking for us. So
like, I mean, I don't know. My personal take on that is like, if you don't want to wear a mask, don't wear a mask. If you want to, you want to, but that's in common areas. If you're going into a business, personally, I believe that business should have the right to have their own code of conduct or company policy. So if I walk into a Target and Target's company policy is you have to wear a mask,
correct,
I either wear a mask and do business with them, or I take my business elsewhere. If that's the company policy, that's what it is. Same thing with like a bank or anywhere. It's like the same thing as going into a bar and they have a sign out front that says no shoes, no shirt, no service.
Correct.
You either put a shirt and shoes on or you don't get served. That's just
correct.
I don't understand the big deal.
I've seen people halfway dressed decently, and these hipster ass motherfuckers come into a bar barefoot, and they're like, "Nope, you got to wear shoes."
I mean, that's
what.
But when
it's natural.
I think this is the problem: is that it's like no shoes, no shirt, no service. Like that was more attached to the bars. Because that was like, there were signs up that said a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is, I mean, hey, if that's a company policy, great. I know a lot of, like I said, I'm in Huntington Beach. If I roll around and sometimes dudes walk in without a shirt, hey, some places are okay with that because we're at the beach.
Yeah, of course.
But like when it comes to the masks nowadays, now you have to take into account there's so much more entitlement now. Over the course of the last couple of years, there's a lot of entitlement going on. Also, you have to take into the fact that we're more divided than I've ever seen in my lifetime. And I'm an old dude, so like we're so divided right now. So there's that involved, and then now people are using this as it's not company policy. You can't infringe on my rights. It's they're saying you're only taking this on because a certain political entity has made this happen, and I don't agree with that policy. So you're not doing this for my health. You're doing this because you agree with, like they see this company as that political entity, and and that's when it gets murky, because now it's like you're seeing health, restrictions as being a political side and not being on the side of health. But that goes back to exactly what we were talking about at the very beginning of this podcast, when we're like, are they making these decisions for political reasons, or are they making them for health reasons?
Yeah.
And I mean,
And dude, and in all fairness, Whit, and I'm gonna throw this out there because I've been very transparent with having people on the podcast. I've invited plenty of people to come on the podcast to talk about the 5G Trojan horse or whatever, or that 5G activates COVID-19, or that there's like a universal currency that's gonna take place, and the devil's horns is going to come out basically. And, then the alien invasion is just going to come and just save us all, whatever. Like those types of people, I've openly say, hey, come on the podcast. We'll talk about this because I know nothing about it because I don't follow it.
Yeah. And
a lot of them are chicken shit, man. A lot of them are chicken shit. And I'll publicly state that, along with the racist people that I know all over social media and people that I've personally been acquainted with for a long time. You guys are chicken shit. You guys do not have the fucking gall to come remotely on a podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
To talk about what your theories are that you think are facts. So I'm just putting it out there because everyone's so, I don't know if it is because of the way I come across in the podcast or what, but I'm just here to have a discussion. And of course, I'm not always going to agree with you. And especially when it comes to that type of stuff, it's like, no.
Well, I think that
Clifford said, I am that chicken shit. No, you're not. I'm like, Clifford's been on a podcast like 4 times.
Yeah, that's funny. No, I'm with you on that. Being a musician, I really try to keep my political views to myself. I really do. Like when I'm on social media, when I'm on Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that, I really do my best. I'm a musician. I play to all parties. So
it's apolitical. That's the term.
Yeah.
Apolitical. Yeah.
Apolitical. So, but I mean, what I do like about coming on the podcast with you, especially, I do feel like it's very reminiscent of like a Joe Rogan type thing. Like I know you're a huge fan. I'm a huge fan as well. And I think the reason why I'm a huge fan is because he has the capability of bringing people from crazy walks of life and people that are demonized, like people on the left and the right, people that are demonized on both sides, and bring them.
And then guys like Edward Snowden.
And get them and get a real conversation going, and just get like, we don't have to agree on everything, but I want to hear your point. I want to hear, I've never learned more about a political, I've never learned more about a politician than someone who was on the Joe Rogan show. Like when Bernie Sanders was on the Joe Rogan show, I learned so much about him, more than any debate that you could see him in. Because when they're in a debate, they're up there and they're just trying to get a sound bite, and they have like, he's like, oh, what's your stance on healthcare? And he's like, you have 30 seconds. Like, you have 30 seconds to talk about healthcare. Now he's on the Joe Rogan show and he's like, all right, hey, let's talk about healthcare. We got 3 hours, I mean, you can really get down, to the nitty gritty. Like you can, cool.
No. And then he has guys like Dan Crenshaw, who's, who's a Republican, he's a senator. And then there's his take. And when he's on there, I don't agree with everything he says.
Yeah.
When he has Ben Shapiro, he brings up some good points. I don't agree with everything. Even some of the stuff that Bernie Sanders was talking about, I don't always agree with all that.
Me too.
And that's the beauty of having the conversation, because to deny each other's differences is to deny who we truly are, is what I'm really, really living by that credo. Because wait, can you imagine if we were all the same, dude?
That'd be boring.
Super boring, man. It'd be nothing interesting.
It'd be so boring. This podcast,
we'd have nothing to talk about. Clifford Comment said, do you like his new set? Yes. Have you seen Joe Rogan's new studio?
I have not.
Jesus, Joseph, and is it Mary?
Now hold up. Did he? I know he moved from YouTube.
He's in Austin, Texas.
No, I know he moved from YouTube to
Spotify. No, it's still available on all platforms right now to the end of the year.
Yeah.
Until I think the new year. Yeah, the new year is going to be exclusive on Spotify, and I'm just like,
you said he's not in California anymore. He's in Texas.
He still has the California studio, but he has this spaceship of a studio in Austin, Texas, and look at this thing, dude.
Oh wow!
Because remember the studio in LA he built. It's literally a compound. This is kind of what it started like. See, this is the acoustic treatment that he had. And then he has a gym, which is pretty badass. And of course, this is what it looks like when all the guests are inside. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, I mean it's a different shape as opposed to his LA studio.
Yeah, but
this is what his LA studio looks like.
You could put him in a coffee shop. You know, Joe Rogan is Joe Rogan, so he's gonna have that conversation, and he's gonna talk on those subjects, and that's like we said, like there were things on the Bernie Sanders one that I was like, okay, that makes sense, you know, and there were some things that he said I was like, okay, yeah, I don't fully agree with that. I can see the point of view, but I don't agree with that because of my beliefs. And the same thing with like Ben Shapiro or Dan Crenshaw. There were some things and even when Dan Crenshaw was on with him and they were talking about pot, you know, they butted heads on that. But
totally,
the cool thing was it wasn't a conversation of like, well, I'm right and you're wrong, and if you don't believe if you don't believe what I believe, then you're the enemy. It wasn't like that. It was like it was two guys talking about their beliefs and trying to understand each other, you know. And I thought that if you haven't seen that clip, you got to watch that clip. It was like a 17-minute clip where they talked only about marijuana, the legalization, and that, I mean, it was intense.
I remember seeing that entire episode, and that's when I started like, wait a minute, like I started hitting the brakes a little bit. I'm like, wait, you're not really for pot, or you are? What's the deal?
He was more, I think when it got down to the end, he was like, there has to be more study in order for him to get behind it. And I mean, as most conservatives are, you know, when us like kind of like, I guess we could call it indies and libertarians, whatever you want to call it. I'm kind of like, dude, to each his own, just as long as you don't hurt anybody or that's my biggest
fuck with little kids. That's it.
Don't infringe on, like, you have the right to believe what you want, for sure. I have the right to believe what I want. But once you start trying to force me to believe what you want, then we're going to have a problem because you know, like, and that's what I loved about that conversation was that Joe Rogan had points of view when it came to marijuana and the use of it and the benefits from it that Dan Crenshaw didn't even know about. So when they had that conversation, it was really interesting to see it was really interesting to watch them like listen to each other, not just wait to talk. You know, it wasn't like Dan Crenshaw was like, just, you know, I'm not even listening to what you have to say because I already know I'm right. So, you know, fuck you. It wasn't about that. He was genuinely interested in like,
he was curious, which is curiosity is, I don't know why everyone's living by this credo that curiosity killed the cat. But in my eyes, curiosity enables critical thinking. And therefore you come up with your own conclusions to a lot of stuff that sometimes it's unknown and you don't really know what perspective to form, and therefore you don't give it a definition, which is the meaning of life, because you define every single event that happens in your life, from work, politics, a podcast, whatever. And it's that's kind of what I'm trying to I'm back on my
you're doing, bro. I love what you're doing because and whenever I get a chance to jump on here with you, I appreciate it because like I said before, I don't post political things. I don't, because I'm one of those guys that's like the three circles and I'm the guy in the middle that, like, you know, I support this, but I don't support that. I support this, but I don't support it. I'm kind of that guy where it's like, you know, I just try to be a good person. So, you know, and I think that there's good on all sides and not just sides of the aisle, but I think that there's good in humanity. I think the problem is we're focusing on all the bad right now. And that's So I try to be more towards the middle where, hey, if a good idea is a good idea, I don't care what side of the aisle it's on. Like if it's good and it's going to be good for everyone, let's do this. But like I said, I don't really post a lot of that. So when I do come on to your show, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan of your show, even though we're friends, and we talk shit. But I am a fan of your show, and when I get to come on here, I feel like we have the opportunity to be those voices that are close to the middle. Be those voices that were like, hey, maybe this side has a good direction. Hey, maybe this side has a good direction. Who knows? Maybe let's experiment. Let's talk a little bit about it.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll have different points of view and look at that. But I don't feel like one political party or one side of the aisle or one ideology. I don't think that one of them has the answer. And this is going to be the saving grace. I don't feel like one of them has it. I feel like there's a lot of ideas from different people. And to be honest, I look more towards, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I look more towards our local and our state and our senators.
That's exactly That's exactly who you should be looking to, especially at your local level.
I look a lot to what they're bringing to the table. What are your ideas? How is that gonna work? Going into the future.
Sonia, I was trying to hang on, but sleepy. It's past your bedtime, Sonia. Anyways, good night. We're gonna wrap up soon, but I just wanted to leave at this that I don't know if you guys are promoting the casino shows at all.
Actually, I have a few things I'd like to promote if you don't mind.
Yeah, by all means.
I appreciate it. We as musicians, we're dealing with live streams and we're dealing with places that are slowly opening up. But we've got Steel Rod is doing we're doing a show this Saturday at the Fantasy Springs Casino in India. They are not renting out rooms at the casino because of percentage wise that they can open. But there is a Hampton Inn and a Quality Inn in India that is literally walking distance from there. So if you'd like to come out for the evening and join us, we're going to be playing alongside of Led Zeppelin. Every time we play with them, it's a blast. We have a great time. We might end up playing a song together. We'll see what happens, but weather's supposed to be great. It's going to be outside, and it should be. I think the show starts 7:30 at Fantasy Springs in India. The other thing that I would like to promote, and this is more personal for me, is that I have a police tribute band that we haven't played since before COVID, and
it's been that long, huh?
It's been a long time, but we still get together and we still rehearse. And I was at rehearsal tonight. I got home literally just in time to jump on here. That's why we're late. Sorry, everybody. But anyways, we're doing a live stream. We're going to do a live stream next Friday night. It's
no
gonna
way.
It's gonna be next Friday night. I
can't wait.
We're going to be joined with we partnered up with International House of Music in downtown LA.
Homie,
and they also have a sister property in Tustin called Jim's Music, and we're actually going to be in Tustin next Friday night, the 25th.
Oh wow, cool!
And we're going to do a live stream at 7:00. It's going to be on the iHomie YouTube page and the iHomie Facebook page, and then we're going to share it to our police tribute page and our personal pages and stuff like that. So you can look up iHomie on Facebook or YouTube, or we're called the Police Academy on Facebook, and we are a police tribute band. We're doing maybe I think 13 or 14 songs, and I'm excited. I'm totally excited.
Yes.
We haven't played in a long time, so this should be it's a live stream on a Friday night at 7 p.m. So
I can't wait to see it. That's something different that I haven't seen. I've never seen the police tribute band at all. So this will be my first time. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
man.
that's the one tribute band I have yet to see. Everything else, like Trial by Fire, I've seen.
Yeah.
And Fat Sabbath, of course. And but
all the different tributes that we've done. Well, this one's fun because they're two members from the Long Run that I play with. The Eagles tribute. So Switch is the guitar player and Birdo is the drummer. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun.
Sweet. Well, you heard it there, folks. Be sure you tune in to the live stream, and also the casino's open this weekend. I know it's at reduced capacity, but nonetheless, they'll be there with Led Zeppelin.
Yes.
And yeah, but thanks for coming on again, brother. I appreciate it. And all of you people in Sleepyland, have a good night. Make sure you don't drool on your pillow. Make sure you go to the bathroom before you go to bed.
Yes, indeed.
And that's it. All right, folks. Peace out.